In this video, we're going to be exploring how to build a support network when living with chronic fatigue syndrome. So I know that one of the hardest things for me on my ME chronic fatigue recovery journey was the sense of isolation. I was ill from the age of 16 up to my early 20s, and as a teenage boy particularly, so many of our connections and friendships are built upon the things that we do. So for me, that was playing sports, that was playing guitar in a band, and all of those activities. Not being able to do those things meant that basically I lost all of my friends and all of my support network. And it took some time to really figure out what I needed, but also how to find pathways towards that. So in this video, I want to share some of what I learned on my own journey, but also what I've noticed over the years, working with many, many thousands of people suffering from fatigue-related conditions. Firstly, of course, there is our family. It may be that we're living with family. It may be that we are in close proximity to family. It may not be the case. Family have the potential to be some of our greatest support, but they can also be some of our greatest frustration. One of the challenges of suffering from a medically unexplained illness, I should be clear from our perspective here at the Optimum Health Clinic, fatigue-related conditions are very much understood. But in a mainstream medical world, often people get told either there's nothing wrong with you or we can't do anything about it. And some of these cultural narratives can be very problematic because the people that love us don't necessarily understand what's happening. And without them understanding what's happening, it's really hard for them to give us the support that we need. Now, if at all possible, what we want to do is to educate our loved ones. Share videos here on the Optimum Health Clinic YouTube channel. You can recommend books. My book, Decode Your Fatigue, of course, has got lots of the frameworks and the ways that we've come to understand working with fatigue. But see if you can educate those around you to be the support that you need. And if you can, that's a huge blessing. What's also important is our friends. Now, it may be that some of our current friends are able to some degree, come on the journey with us, either to really understand some of what we're going through, or to at least have the willingness to try to understand some of what we're going through. Again, the more we can educate our friends, the more they can learn about what's happening, the better. One of the things I know hugely frustrates people is when friends and family send newspaper articles of the very latest answer. Sometimes it's things we've already tried many times in the past. Other times it's things that we know are not going to be helpful for us. And from their best of intentions, we can find ourselves feeling even more isolated because it almost acts like a reminder that they really don't understand what we're suffering with and what we're going through. Like with family, if our current friends are able to come on some of this journey with us, that can be a huge support. But that's not true for everyone. What's often really helpful is finding ways to cultivate support and connections from those that are on a similar journey. Now, I remember when I was ill and finding out about ME chronic fatigue support groups, and honestly, I couldn't think of anything worse. Like the idea of being in a physical room with other people that had all the same symptoms that I had, to be supported in talking about feeling ill. Like it seemed like abhorrent to me. Although of course, in hindsight, I can see that some of the benefits of that. But what I really wanted was a recovery group. Like people that were talking about what they were learning on the recovery journey, about what could be possible pathways forwards. I know that in our various communities here at the Optimum Health Clinic, people that have attended programs together, people that have been part of our Healing Together community, that people say that those friendships have become some of the most precious connections in their lives because they are people that know the lived experience. Like there's a a shared language and vocabulary, one feels so much less alone. So if you're a patient of the Optimal Health Clinic, I really want to encourage you to utilize those resources. Healing Together is a great place to do that. If you're not, and for whatever reason that's not something that you're exploring, finding other pathways, like Facebook groups can be a helpful place. Like finding pathways to connect with other people that are not just suffering in the ways that you are, but are working to cultivate healing and transformation, that there can be a shared vocabulary around that. I ended up for about the last 16 months or so of my fatigue recovery journey being in an intimate relationship with a woman who was also on her recovery journey. And that support that we gave each other was hugely valuable. It doesn't mean that that's what you need to do, but my point is that you're doing one of the hardest things in your life. Doing it with others, doing it with support can make a huge difference. And we have to be proactive in finding that support. It's not just going to necessarily turn up on our doorstep. We've got to join that Facebook group or sign up for that program to then have those opportunities to connect in those ways. And then we've got to be brave and put ourselves out there. But the potential for having that support and how that can impact us is enormous. It takes some courage, but what we put out, we can get back 100 times more. I hope this has been helpful. Let me know in the comments below this video, what are some of the places that you found community, that you found support on your fatigue recovery journey? I think other people will find it really helpful hearing more about that. Thanks for watching.